Hello all, welcome to our channel Where to Know. So in the previous video we have talked about the Arduino Nano 33BLE board, right? So we talked about the features of the board, and in this video we'll just give a glimpse of how this TinyML model can be used on this board. And we will talk about the description of this particular one in the next videos, but let us just get a feel of what all things are part of this TinyML model and how it gets integrated. So the first thing, you have the Arduino IDE, which is your backbone, and it helps you simplify the things a lot, right? So go to the file, and the first thing that you have to do is you can go to the library manager and type tinyml. Okay, so you see if there are any packages available, libraries available, or as you don't find anything, what you can do is you can search for actual TensorFlow. Okay. Yes. So if you see here, there are several TensorFlow libraries available. So there is a Adafruit TensorFlow Lite, but there is a Adafruit Broad which supports the TensorFlow Lite, and that's the library for that, and it's actually installed already. And then you have something called TF Lite. So this is the library that we use, and this is already installed. Okay, so now we can start with the basic example. So once this particular library is installed, you can see in the examples all these particular whatever example whatever the codes that are available. Okay, so as you scroll down, let us see if there are any. Yeah, you have R2TF Lite. Okay, so hello world, like as we start with the hello world example with C or any embedded board, here also there is a hello world which we'll be talking about in the next coming videos, but for now we'll just get a glimpse of what can be done and then move ahead. Okay, so this is the hello world code. So what we are actually doing here is, the sine model, right? So the sine model, which is basically the hello world model for this the TinyML training. So this particular model is used as an example for these boards, and we will talk about this particular example in detail. So what basically happens is you give some value x, and then we'll be converting that into a sine value. Okay, like you can say y is equal to sine x. The sine value will be calculated by this model. So the input that will be giving is a integer. Okay, and that will be converted into a sine model. Okay, so this particular hello world model in a TensorFlow Lite is already created in the background, and that particular model is inferred, trained. Okay, and actually this particular model is also converted into a format which can be downloaded onto our Arduino board memory, such that it's in byte form. You can see here. So this is a model, and this model has the entire TensorFlow Lite related network. Okay, so now this is in model.h, which actually we will be importing, okay, into our code, and then we'll also be importing the RGUTF Lite library. And what we'll be doing is we'll for now ignore all this. We'll talk about it later. We'll be actually taking an x value which is a float value, and then what we are doing is based on the x value, okay, we'll be giving this x value to the model, Okay, and this model runs and gives out y. So there are two functions in the ArcGIS Lite: model set input and model get output, which will actually take the inputs and do this. So you right now treat the model as a black box, which we consider, as we haven't talked about it, as this was a very preliminary example. So you are giving x value and it is giving y value, which is nothing but sin x. Okay, and we are getting this, and this will be actually printed. Okay, this is the model and this is the application code that is written in Arduino. Okay, so if you are talking about the TinyML model, what are we doing here? This is the model in the background where the TF-Lite format, you can see here .TF-Lite format is dumped into a hexadecimal format and saved into model.h, and you have application code like how you write for Arduino. Simple, right? We haven't made it too complex. That's how you just get an example and you dump it and you get a confidence that you ran an example. Okay, so take this and you just run. Okay, the main thing here is, as this is a this has a huge model and it has to compile and dump the data onto the board. Note that it takes some time to compile. So once the code is dumped, okay, you can start with the serial monitor. Okay, in the serial monitor, like for example, we'll try to remove the board and then plug in. You can see the initial function, initial prints, and then it is waiting for a float number between 0 to 6.28. Okay, and what you can do is you can actually enter some 1.5 or something. Okay, once you enter, you open the serial plotter, you can see 1.5 is treated as a 0 here. Okay, and for example 3.57, 4.6, 6.1, 3.33. Okay, you can see here you have given the input value and it is taking the input value and it is converting to sine. And if you see the serial, it's trying to. So the yellow line is the input, and the blue line is the output, which is between -1 to 1 only. Okay, so this is how it's trying to fit the sine wave within -1 to 1, right, with the given x value. So, simple example to show how the model is taking the data. The application code is actually accepting the data from output, and this application code is passing to the model is actually trying to check the data and give the output, and that is again plotted here. So this is a simple example to start with, and we'll talk about this example and especially what is this model about, and what actually takes to build a .tf-lite format, what tools are required for that, and what are the references which you can refer and work on it. We'll talk about all these in the coming videos. Thanks for watching. Stay glued for more videos.